The 70s and 80s were a time of glory. They were a time for partying, celebrating, and sticking it to the man. Culture had reached its highest point. You couldn't take 3 steps down the street without running into something hip and new. Among this excitement that the 70s brought to the good people of the world came the formation of what we formerly know today as punk rock. Punk rock began in the US, and in the UK, it would soon after be let loose throughout the world, spreading its luscious, enraged, delicious sound to every corner of the earth. Except for the Soviet Union, because they're stupid. Anyway, among the rise of the punk movement came the Moldy Arsonists, possibly the biggest band in all of punk history. I am Jenny, and I will be leading you into the life of Nigel Livingston, as known as Tommy Terrible, lead singer and guitarist for the Moldy Arsonists. The Moldy Arsonists were powerful and crazy. They attracted large crowds, bulky men, and voluptuous women to all their shows.
To the theaters was something that no one had ever seen before. Their sound was loud, their voices inaudible, and their speakers huge. They went from town to town playing gigs, starting riots, and setting fire to whoever and whatever got in their way. They were the best thing since string cheese. Was the public disturbed or horrified by their action? Not at all. In fact, it seemed to only make them even more popular. Their stage presence was so great, so tremendous, that they would send the front crowd careening back. They played as there was no tomorrow.
Many think that it was their devotion to music, but few knew that, through massive use of drugs and alcohol, they actually thought the world would end whenever they got on the stage. It seemed everyone wanted a piece of the Moldy Arsonists. It would stop at nothing to get it.
Yeah, when I saw the Moldy Arsonists a year ago, Tommy leapt off the stage into the crowd and totally tore off my arm, man. It was so cool. He held it up in the air, screaming at the top of his lungs. Then he bit off a finger and signed my arm. It was so amazing. Yeah, go Tommy, you rock, woohoo!
I was walking down the street one time and I overheard 2 people criticizing the Moldy Arsonists. It made me so mad, man.
And what did you do?
I fucking killed the man. I yanked out his eye sockets with toothpicks and drove my car keys through his chest. Moo-ha-ha-ha-ha.
Yes, no one could seem to get enough of the Moldy Arsonists. They were taking Britain by the storm without any mercy. Alas, on April 26, 2007, Tommy died a tragic death. He choked on a potato chip while attempting a suicide. His motives were unknown, but his last words were, "Bro, I am too high to eat this Cocker Spaniel." These exact words can now be found at the Smithsonian Museum for the public to see for $500 an hour.
Things weren't always like this, however. Every hero has an origin, and we are going to find it out.
It all started in Berwick-upon-Tweed, England, where Tommy was born. Tommy grew up in the estate of the Clivistons, a wealthy family that had made their fortunes off of selling pickled bread to the homeless people in local Shefford. The household consisted of Sir Henrik Cumbersome III and Lady Cliviston, who changed her name to Cumbersome upon marriage. However, Tommy, or Nigel originally, kept the Cliviston name as no one else seemed to want to take it. In addition, there was a sister named Mud. She is not very interesting. Kept here in the estate, Tommy grew up. He attended Wilmington Elementary for 2 years before being hospitalized for swallowing 3 rulers on a dare by a former classmate. He soon after sued the school and won. He was homeschooled after that, learning the ways of bread pickling until one day, upon the visiting of a foreign family member, he picked up a guitar. Only moments later to have dropped it, causing it to smash into pieces, as he was known to be a bit of a butterfingers. 2 years later, he tried again, and was successful at keeping it up. He started playing it every day, everywhere he went. He even took it around town, and that's how he got the name, That Annoying Kid with the Guitar. Here's what his parents had to think.
Well, it was a bally racket it was. You could barely bloody hear yourself think, I say. I say it was utterly dreadful. If I had known he would persist this bally banter for his career, I would have thrown him out right then and there, I say.
How do you feel about your son's success as a rock star?
I think it's very poppycock. How preposterous! A rock star! Utterly dreadful, I say. But believe me, we tried everything to get it out of him. We tried hitting him, punching him, drowning him, locking him up in the berry cellar for weeks on end without food. Exorcism? Nothing seemed to barely work, I say. He broke his poor mother's heart. The day he left home claiming to be a berry musician was the day I lost my son.
So you're telling us you disowned him?
You're very right, I did. If he wants to be some roughy-toughy hooligan, then all the right to him. But I will not have any of that in my house, I say. He was a bad one anyway. Berry buffoon.
What can you tell us about your son, Lady Cumbersome?
I am son?
Tommy Terrible, Nigel Clipperton. Are you sure you don't know his name?
Well, no one ever told me.
But surely you must know you have a child.
I know no such thing. I can barely remember my daughter, Mud. God, this child is so boring. So, Mud, tell us about your brother.
Well, he was a very interesting fellow. I remember the days we used to go on walks together. He used to tell me jokes.
While his work went unappreciated at home, it wouldn't be long before he would take his talent to the street. And that he did. After losing patience at home, he left the Clipperston estate and vowed to be the best that there was. It wasn't soon after when he met his future drummer, Pistol Pete. Pete got his name from an unusual talent. He received the name from his reputation to stick loaded pistols up his buttocks and keep them there for large periods of time. While going for his record of 4, a pistol went off and the bullet zipped up through his intestine and stomach and went right through a small area of the brain. By an act of God, he survived, but maintained serious brain damage, preventing him from coherent speech, but granting him the ability to keep a pretty slamming beat. Pistol Pete and Tommy Terrible became immediate friends after Pete saved Tommy from a fire which Tommy had started. Tommy later went on to sue the pub that he burnt down for causing his beer to break and won yet another court case. The following members followed suit. Up from the ashes of the grimy back alleys of London came Vicky 1234 Bingo, the bass player, and Cabbage, the rhythm guitarist.
Together, they formed the Moldy Arsonists.
Fortunately for us, the Moldy Arsonist manager, Ricky Goldman, was willing to speak with us about Tommy and the Moldy Arsonists.
Yeah, Tommy was a decent bloke, if you know what I mean. He had the heart of gold. When he walked into my door, I just knew he was going to bring something new to the table. He had that spunk I was looking for. Those eyes just pierced my soul. And that's when I told myself, Ricky, this man is going to go places. He sat down and we chatted a while. I signed him immediately. I remember he told me how he was so grateful to be under my label and how I seemed to him a chum. Then he put a switchblade to my neck and demanded I give him my pants. But don't get me wrong, Tommy was a nice guy. I'm sure he had a good reason for those pants. I was carrying 200 pounds in my wallet, though. I never saw that again.
And you're still in your underpants?
It's the only pair of pants I had.
And there you go. Not only a guitarist, a singer, a leader, but also an overall nice guy. Why? Just ask any of his bandmates.
Oh, Tommy? Oh, what a nice guy. You'll never find a guy nice as him, I'm telling you. He wasn't only a musician. He was a friend. He only picked me up when I was down. Although, come to think of it, he was the one who put me down there in the first place. And I suspect he had sexual relations with my girlfriend. But what a nice guy he was. I'm telling you. It's easy to get Tommy all wrong here in NY, but an honest to God nice guy. Believe me that. Since you and Tommy were ever so close, did he ever let you in on some of his secrets? I see. And did that ever come in between you two? Wow, he must have really cared about you. What a touching story.
Well, folks, if that story didn't prove the soft, tender heart of this lion, then I don't know what will. Now, our next guest didn't know Tommy per se, but he has spent years analyzing and studying the Moldy Arsonist. His name is Bixby von Higgelberg. We tracked him down in his sleeping bag in the park, and now we'll ask him a few words.
Now you say you spent years researching and studying the life of Tommy.
That's right, I have.
Well, Bigby, what can you tell us about the man we formerly know today as Tommy Terrible?
The man? Dear lady, this spirit, nay, this holy, righteous, and divine God is no mere man. He is the embodiment of all that is pure in the world. He reeks with the shining light of the heavens. He was crafted by the most gifted and bare-bottomed of angels. I believe he came to earth with the sole purpose of penetrating our earholes with his warm, lustful music, not fit for even the hottest of orgies. Every night, I pray to him. I pray I can be one with his spirit. And then I'll masturbate to a picture of a woman I found in the garbage. Well, that's besides the point. The point is, there's no tangible being that can even begin to fulfill the embodiment of Tommy the Terrible. Tommy Terrible. He would get up on stage and he'd twirl around and he'd slash like a crazed kookaburra. He'd pillage, he'd burn, and oh dear. Oh my. I'm terribly sorry, but I appear to have sliced open your jugular vein. Here you go. All better. No, not really. Oh my. I am so terribly sorry. I have to go now. Poodles.
Clarence, you must continue the legacy. The Moldy Arsonists forever.
No, Jenny, don't go. It's only a pierced jugular vein. You can survive. It's nothing. Well, get you nice and cleaned up. Jenny, I've never said this before, but I think now's a good time. Jenny, I love you. Don't die, Jenny. Oh God. Well, Jenny's dead. I hear the official reports. They couldn't help her. I was told to continue this documentary, and I would, but you see, I spent the remaining budget on trying to save her, and they convinced me she was a goner, and my money was useless, but I just screamed in their faces and threw money at them. I probably shouldn't have done that. That budget also included my life savings too. So that means the movie can't go on. If you truly care and wanted me to continue, please consider donating what you can to the number below. And also, if you're willing to give me a home, I'd be very grateful. Night is falling and I have no place to go. I also think I have wolves. I hear wolves. Help me.